Okay, guys, let's go over our personal narratives that we get to write today. All right, so we have our first essay, and this is going to be our personal narrative essay that we are writing today, or story. Okay, so let's take a look here, and it gives us a read, think, write information box. So it says, read the following sentence. Summer friends can last forever. Think about what you did or whom you played with last summer. So these are kind of distractors. We don't really want to focus on this. What I want you to do is get your highlighter and circle this, really highlight this. This is the important part. Write about something that happened during the summer. Write about something that happened during the summer. You see how that's really, really important. That's what you're doing today. And erase that. Go away. Okay? As you write your narrative story, be sure to make sure that your narrative has, highlight, here we go, a beginning, a middle, and an end. We want it to be in order. Have a sequence of events. We want vivid details. Highlight vivid details. That means we want to be able to picture this in our head as we're telling the story. And describe the characters, the setting, and the actions. And guess who the main character is going to be? Use correct spelling, capitalization, punctuation, grammar, and sentences. Here are the steps we are going to take to create this document, to create this story. And the first step is pre-write, which we're going to do today. And then the second step is your rough draft, which you're also going to do today. Okay? Put that over there. All right, so let's flip to the back. I'm going to show you how to draft this first part of your personal narrative. I don't want you to copy what I wrote. I want you to come up with your own ideas, but I want to show you first, and then I want you to go ahead and write. So flip it over to the back. This is what you should see. And this is our very first essay we're writing. It's our summer story. And we're going to complete step 1 today, and hopefully you're going to complete step 2 today as well. So right away, get your pencil, and I want you to go ahead and write your, right here where it says by, you're going to put your header, first and last name. So I'm going to put my number is number 2, it's into, and my first name is none y'all business, and then it's Miss Neville's. Nice handwriting, not like Miss Neville's right now because it's really hard to write on this computer thingy-mabobber. Okay, and then the topic is going to be about something that I did this summer. So I want to think about some things that I can really describe, that I have, I can really visualize in my mind and remember all the details. I'm going to write about a trip to the pool. So my topic is going to be trip to the pool. So I want you to pause the video for about a minute or so and just kind of think about different things that you did last summer. And on the side over here, jot some ideas down. So you might just make a little list for about 30 seconds so you can have some ideas before I show you how to write this paper. So pause now. Okay, so hopefully you took a couple of minutes and you thought about some ideas of things that you might want to write about during this summer. And I'm going to show you how to take that idea and turn it into a story. So first, we're going to pre-write this step right here, okay? And we want to list the characters and the setting. The characters, let's see if I can zoom in, because there we go. Oh, that's much better. The characters, of course, my first character is going to be me. And then my next character is going to be Addie. She's in the story. And then Hazel, which was her friend. And the setting is going to be July in the summertime. That's important to my story because, I mean, can you imagine if I went to the pool during, December or whatever? Would it match the prompt? No. Would I answer the prompt? And it'd be kind of weird and cold. Ugh. Okay, so now that I know who's in the story and the setting, I'm going to start thinking about, what are the events in the story? And I'm going to sketch them out. So yes, and we're sketching. So I know before we even got there, we went to Nana's, which is my mom's house, and we collected all the stuff we need because Miss Snuggles does not have all that stuff here. So she goes to Nana's house, borrows it, and then, brings it with us. So I do remember we got some pool floaties. So I'm going to draw like a little pool floaty. You had to have that. You can't go to the pool without a pool floaty. That's right. Okay. Oh, and we definitely got some towels because I don't have beach towels. And my mom that's kind of a towel. Is that a towel? My mom lived in Florida, so she's got tons of towels. Okay. So we had to stock up on that. And we got some popsicles and water, everything you need for the pool. So we got everything we needed, and then we got to the pool, and man, did we have fun. The first thing the girls did, Hazel and Addie, is they put on some music. I would love to find out what music it is so I can share that with you, but I don't remember. It sounded very non-mommy music, so I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and draw. Yeah, this is a radio. That's not what they didn't have a radio. They had their phone, but you get the picture. So they put their music on, and they got all situated, danced a little bit, jumped around in the pool, and then we decided to play in the pool. We decided to play Marco Polo. So I'm going to draw a pool, kind of ish, and I'm going to draw me on the side going Marco Polo, and then Addie, I'm going to put her in the water because she won like every game because she's like a super good swimmer, and there's me and Hazel trying to find her. Marco Polo. And we swam and swam and swam and had so much fun. Then we did a little bit of relaxing. By the end of the pool day, I was feeling, pretty exhausted, I'll tell you that, but pretty happy at the same time. So I was feeling, I'm going to do a little happy face here. I was feeling pretty happy because we had such a good day. And then I'm also going to do a tired emoji face, like, ooh, I'm happy, but ooh, man, I could definitely use a nap and maybe a Frappuccino. And at the end of the story, we all went home and laughed and enjoyed the end of the day when the sun was finally going down. There's my sketch there. Okay, so I sketched my story and I kept the events in order. Made sure I had all of those good details like the characters and the settings, thought about the really important things that happened that I would want to tell my story about. So now I want you to pause the video and take about 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes to really think about your idea on a level 0 and really sketch those ideas out and fill these boxes out. So that way you have a good idea of how your story is going to go. Pause the video and I'll see you back in a second. All right, guys, so you should have your sketch completed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our sketches and our pre-writing and we're going to turn it into our second step, which is our rough draft, okay? Which I kind of already have done, so I'm going to cheat a little bit so that the video is not so long. Okay, so I have my pictures here. I'm going to pretend my pictures are still there. And I have my characters in my setting. In the first paragraph, I really want to make sure that I'm setting everything up. So this is an example of my first paragraph. Let me fix this. Uno momento. Go back. That's it. Addie's playing her cello. Can you hear? She's good. She's good. All right, so here's my pictures, right? I've got all my pictures. Now I'm going to take my pictures and I'm going to come up with my first couple of paragraphs. So, splash! Addie hits the water with a cannonball to rival all other pool gymnastics. That's called a hook. Your first sentence should get your reader interested in what you're going to tell a story about. If you want to go ahead and write the hook, go ahead. If you have some really good ideas, I know you can come up with some good ones. Then go ahead. If you can't think of anything, do the best you can. We're going to be adding to this story when I get back, and we're going to start with improving our hooks. But you got to have that first paragraph so we can know what your story is about. This summer, my family and I, notice I mentioned my characters right here, went ahead and brought those into my first paragraph, my family and I went to the pool, right? So I have my setting. Bam. I've addressed the prompt. I've told the characters in the setting right away. It was a really hot day. Again, I gave more detail about the setting. So the cool water looked amazing. My daughter Addie, her friend Hazel, and I went together and had a fun-filled day in the sun. So this whole first paragraph is just setting up my story. Who was there? When was it? What, all the good background information. Then my next paragraph should be the first event right here, the first thing that we did. And you notice I start that paragraph off with the word first. First, Addie, Hazel, and I made a stop at Nana's house for poolside essentials. We picked up popsicles, cool ice water, soft fluffy towels, and of course, tons of sunscreen. Once we had our pool gear, we raced to the pool for a nice cool dip. Okay, and yes, I don't have too many errors. There are a couple I've put in there, see if we can find them later. But right now I'm just getting my ideas on the paper and trying to make sure I have a good explanation of the sequence of events in my story. Then I'm going to look at my next pictures. Okay, so I know Addie was listening to the music and they got all set up. So my next paragraph is, I think I'm going to go ahead and write about that. And I start with the transition word after. After arriving at the pool, Addie and Hazel turned up the tunes and jumped in the pool, jamming out to the Top Summer Jams. You notice I put Top Summer Jams because I don't remember the song, and that's okay. You just, go with what you remember. We all splashed around trying to soak each other and laughing there's an error right there too. Miss Snowball, see if you can catch them. Laughing so hard, we could hardly hear the music. Event, so set it up. First event, next event. And my final important event, I drew the pool, right? Next, I have another transition word. Try to use those in your writing today. We all decided to play a hardcore game of Marco Polo. Addie is a really good swimmer, so of course she beat Hazel and myself so many times we decided to call her Queen of the Pool. All right, so explain the event, talk about it, and give a few details to really help your reader imagine what was going on. And then your last paragraph, notice I start with the word finally. That is a great transition word to use in your last paragraph. Wink, wink, use that one. Finally, we dried off with our towels, had our frozen snacks, and packed up. I felt tired. I'm going to underline that because that feeling needs to be in your story. How did you feel after this event? I felt tired, but really happy. Spending the afternoon at the pool with my family was one of the best parts of summer. And I used this important word, summer, because it ties back to my prompt, which is, what did you do during the summer? All right, so there's an example. Please do not write exactly what I wrote, but use it to help you think. I know you guys did some really cool things last summer. Could be last summer, could be the summer before. Tell me about it. This is your chance to share your story and what happened to you and be descriptive and use all those good words. And then when I get back, we're going to add to it and do our final copy and then share it with everybody. Can't wait to see him. Bye-bye.